Hey everybody, it's me, Jen. So I love that we have a break from reading and typing so much. I did still type up all my notes that I'm going to be reading from a little bit on this, just kind of as prompts. So let me just dive right in. When I first read these four reading descriptions, I thought there would be some that I'd naturally gravitate towards. The impacts for sustainable tourism, just because we recently returned from Costa Rica and we stayed at a hotel that was based on sustainable tourism principles. So I really wanted to see how that experience related to what was going to be mentioned in these five hotel case studies. And then the innovations for sustainable tourism, simply because the more I travel, the more I have an interest in these large corporate hotels, what they're doing to lessen their impacts. There was things in all four of these readings that really piqued my interest, so it's really hard to pick just two. But because we have to pick two, I think the ones that appeal to me most professionally and when I think of looking forward with this degree were the impacts for sustainable tourism, of course, and then also the working with communities reading. Yeah, they were a little bit easier to read than the others, so it was a little bit less to try to wrap my mind around. But one thing that I really liked about these, and it's one thing that I hope to do with this degree, is it made everything seem relatable and attainable as opposed to being something that's just so expensive or such a lifestyle change or people would have to sacrifice. I think that's a lot of the perception that some people have over sustainability, and that's simply not the case. So with the readings that I didn't really pick, they piqued my interest personally, but maybe not so much professionally, maybe not so much related to this degree. So with the impacts for sustainable tourism, or the innovations for sustainable tourism, my apologies, I was shocked to hear that whale sharks don't have international protection, especially because that's such a popular activity right now where people are getting out and doing that. And I thought the tracking method that they were using was really innovative. However, I don't really see myself doing that. Rather, I would share that information with somebody else and let them go out and kind of pursue that professionally. The other article, the tourism, travel, and philanthropy reading, with that there was a ton of really cool things in there, but they appealed to me and interested me more, again, personally, not professionally. For example, the volunteerism, or the fact that more people are wanting to travel to exotic locations. I think that's interesting, and I can totally relate to that, but I'm not sure that I see myself doing that professionally, kind of pursuing that. So as far as what I would maybe pursue professionally, the working with communities. One thing that I really did like about this article was that it was really easy to relate, and it was really to see some of the impacts about the benefits that tourism can have to a community. I'm not saying that it doesn't have its negative impacts, because we all know that it does. But when you look at the for community section of the reading, it had a lot of really great benefits related to sustainable development. Now, I have an interest in jobs and what that does for people, and a lot of that is just due to the fact that I've worked in human resources and workforce training, and I work at a college. So I've been able to firsthand see the impacts that a job can have on somebody's life. And tourism is such a huge industry, I can really see that correlation and see what it has the potential to do, and I naturally relate to that. And I could see myself doing something with this degree and with that work experience in this realm. So that's kind of why that appealed to me. I also was interested in the mentioning of economic diversification. My community really struggles with that. My whole state does, actually. And many times our leaders have said that we're going to branch out into tourism, and it just hasn't reached that tipping point yet. So I'm really curious to see, when do we finally get there, and what does that look like? The other article, the impacts of tourism, sustainable tourism, that just had a lot of really easy things in it, like the switching to biodegradable detergent is so easy. I also love the thought about displaying the work of local artists in a hotel. What a great way to, get involved with the community, have the guests see, something that is not only community, but it could be cultural, it could be heritage, kind of give back. It's a great all-around thing that I've never really thought of. So I thought that was a really good idea. And, anything that we can do to kind of educate people on sustainability practices when traveling, I think is a huge benefit. And, you know, even now, when I think about art and travel and all of those things, I'm in the process currently of submitting a proposal to present at a local humanities festival that'll be held in town next year. And the theme is around the world, so I'm wanting to do something on sustainability to help educate people who aren't too familiar with the practices, kind of like they mentioned in one of the case studies in this article. You know, just sharing that wealth and knowledge with people and seeing if we can make a difference. And I apologize, I think I'm a little over on time, but that's it in a nutshell. Thank you.